Leonardo was an up-and-coming streamer, known for exploring abandoned places live for his followers. His next destination would be Bold, a decommissioned textile factory in the countryside where mysterious fires occurred in the 70s. The promise was clear: today I will spend the night alone in this cursed place. If I come out alive, you owe me 1,000 followers. The live stream already had over 30,000 viewers when he crossed the rusty gate. With his backpack, camera, and flashlight, Leonardo entered through the back door. The interior was dark, dirty, and smelled of burnt wood. A silence echoed so dense that it felt like he was being watched. "Guys, this place feels more alive than dead," he joked, trying to ease the fear. But the comments began flooding the chat with phrases like, "Behind you," "Someone passed by," "You're not alone." He laughed nervously. "You guys are messing with me, right?" But when he instinctively turned the camera, for a millisecond, a pale figure appeared at the end of the hallway. The chat exploded. He froze. The figure disappeared, and he tried to convince himself it was a reflection or optical illusion. He continued walking, now sweating cold. The walls were covered with names scratched in charcoal. All female, all repeated, hundreds of times. In the next room, he found an old radio, still working, even without power. It emitted static and, at times, whispered voices, as if trying to speak to him through the dead frequencies. Leonardo decided to go up to the second floor. There, he found a metal cabinet locked with a chain. Next to it, a VHS tape with his name handwritten, Leonardo, June 7th, 2025. The date was today. Frightened, he searched for a device to play the tape. He found one in the old manager's office. He turned on the camera to show the live stream. Everyone was watching live as the tape began to roll. In the recording, he saw himself walking through the factory. Same clothes, same steps, but with black eyes, soulless. And at a certain point in the tape, something pulled him into the darkness. The live stream went into shock. "Is this a setup?" he shouted, already in panic. The chat was now filled with a phrase that repeated, "The broadcast has already happened. You are reliving it. Run." The tape burnt. The TV exploded in sparks. Leonardo ran through the corridors trying to find the exit, but the factory seemed to have changed inside. Doors that were once open now led to walls. Corridors spiraled. He stumbled and fell before a wall covered with broken mirrors. In each shard, he saw different reflections of himself. One smiled, another cried, another was covered in blood, and one of them whispered his name. The live stream continued. The number of viewers increased, but the faces in the profiles didn't look human. They were distorted, pale with black eyes. The audience was watching from another place. The camera fell to the ground, capturing only sounds. Footsteps, breathing, a scream, and then silence. The broadcast ended abruptly with one last image, an old sign with red letters. "Welcome, Leonardo. Now you are part of the story." Days later, his channel was deleted, but a new live stream appeared out of nowhere on another profile. Same title, same location, and a familiar voice whispering in the dark. "Today, I'm a spectator, but tomorrow, it could be you." Lucas was an 11-year-old boy, curious and lonely, who moved with his parents into an old house inherited from his maternal grandmother. It was a large mansion with cracked windows, creaking stairs, and a basement locked for decades. In the first few days, Lucas began to hear small taps coming from the kitchen floor. His parents said it was the old pipe, but he was sure the taps followed a pattern, like a message in code. One afternoon, while playing on the living room floor, Lucas saw a piece of paper slide onto the basement door. It was yellowed, with crooked letters written in pencil. "I'm here. I need help. Can you hear me?" Frightened, he ran to show his parents. They laughed, saying he had too much imagination. But Lucas knew the paper hadn't been there before. And the next day, another appeared. "You are the first to hear since 1973. That night was long. Lucas kept peeking at the basement door. At 3:11 a.m., he heard 3 slow knocks, followed by a dragging sound. And then another paper appeared. She locked me in here. Grandma. His heart raced. Grandma had lived there her whole life and had died just a few months ago. He never knew of any other relative living with her. The next day, he found an old diary in a drawer. Helena, it said on the cover. Carefully flipping through it, Lucas discovered disturbing notes. It spoke of voices, ancient spells, and how the basement was a portal that needed to remain closed. The last page read, "The boy cannot leave." Lucas began to have nightmares of eyes watching him from the cracks. In one of them, he woke up inside the basement with someone whispering in his ear, "Switch places with me." More notes began to appear, some torn, others smudged with what looked like dry blood. One said, "You have my face, my life. This is mine by right." He tried to tell his parents again, but this time, he found a note inside his mother's pocket. It was crumpled with the same words. Lucas felt chills. Someone was inside the house. That night, the basement door was ajar. No one knew who had unlocked it. The smell was unbearable. Mold, rotten wood, and something Lucas couldn't describe. Something dead. Something hungry. Against all instinct, he descended the stairs. The flashlight flickered. The walls were covered with childish drawings, all depicting a child trapped behind bars. And all the faces were his. At the back of the basement, he found a broken mirror and an old chair. As he approached, he saw his reflection smiling back before he himself smiled. But he hadn't smiled. It was the reflection that decided to smile on its own. The last note was delivered the next morning. His father found it at the kitchen door. Written in Lucas's handwriting, it said, "Thank you for letting me out. Now it's him who's down there." Lucas seemed the same, but he was different, quieter, his gaze too fixed. The nights were now silent, without notes, without noises. Only sometimes his mother heard whispers in the basement calling, "Please, get me out of here." Today, no one enters that basement anymore. But sometimes, yellowed papers still appear with the same shaky handwriting. And the new Lucas? He just smiles, a crooked smile, as if he's waiting for you.